Do you have the friendliest dog on the block? Does he attract people when you take him for a walk, or just make people smile?
If you answered yes, then having your dog become a therapy dog might be an awesome fit. Handi-Dogs and Therapy Animals of Southern Arizona is holding an information session, and they want you to be there with them. Joanne Turnbull and Carolyn Chicole join us now with the details. Ladies, how are you?
Great.
And tell us about International Assistance Dog Week. That's something that's very important.
International Assistance Dog Week is this week, and it's for people all across the world to celebrate assistance dogs that help people with mitigate their disability. So tomorrow night, actually, we are doing a graduation ceremony at Handi-Dogs. And so we have 3 of our newest graduate teams. A team is also a person and the dog.
Okay.
Sue and Darcy are one of our newest graduates, and we're going to celebrate the wonderful work that they're doing.
So tell us what the dogs and the handlers, I guess, owners, go through.
We focus on getting the dog to focus on us. Is part of it. It's some general obedience so that they can be in public places and with good manners. They get a Canine Good Citizen certification through AKC, and then they work on what the particular needs of each individual is for their individual disabilities.
Okay.
And so, Sue, for you and Darcy, what does this mean for you guys to be able to give back and also to be able to hang out while you're doing it?
Darcy's a great help for me. She's able to help pick things up for me. I get dizzy if I bend over or something. I drop a lot of things, so she's always there to help if I need something, and she's
very attentive.
Yeah,
yes, she is always very attentive to me, and that is part of
what she does.
And that's what makes her such a great service dog.
And did you know when you got her that she was going to be a service dog?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I was going to say, I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, they just happen to be a really special dog.
Yes. She's, part of it is her personality. And when part of her job is, my husband is a diabetic, and part of her job is she's a diabetic alert dog, so she helps alert him to his changes in his sugar levels.
And she can sense that?
Yes.
Okay, how does that work?
Yeah, how does that work?
It works through their smells of mostly their breath, but sometimes the smells on their skin and sweat and that kind of stuff, and they smell those changes. And you just train them to alert, or you watch for what their alerts are.
Okay.
That just, I can't even wrap my head around a dog being able to do that. And Joanne, can anybody do this? What are the qualifications for the animal?
Well, you have to have the right dog, first of all. So it has to have the right temperament. It can't be too aggressive. It can't be too shy or fearful. It has to have a sense of confidence, is what we like to say. So the dog is very comfortable in different situations and wants to learn and wants to work. So we only use positive training methods. So every so often you might see Sue rewarding Darcy for being so good with a nice little treat. We use a lot of positive reinforcement only. So dogs have to want to do it as well.
So what other type of therapy dogs are there? You talked about diabetic and Darcy can alert. What are some of the other things that people can use therapy dogs for?
Well, actually, the term is service dog for somebody with a disability. Therapy dog is if you're going to volunteer to take your own dog to hospitals and things like that.
Okay, therapy.
So it gets very confusing, and the terms get interchanged a lot. So service dogs are hearing alert. If somebody can't hear very well, we can alert, the dog could be trained to alert them to an oven timer going off, a fire alarm going off, their name being called, different things like that. Someone who has mobility challenges, the dogs are trained to pick things up, keys, canes, retrieve a walker, open doors, close doors, turn on lights, all sorts of different things like that. There's dogs that help people with psychiatric conditions, so PTSD, bipolar, or anxiety. And if somebody's getting into a panic mode, the dog can be trained to stop a negative behavior or even lead the person to a door so they can get outside and get fresh air if they're getting into a panic attack. So just about anything almost, dogs can be really trained to help their person mitigate their disability. And by being trained to do those specific tasks, then with the American with Disabilities Act, people can take them into public places.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this a little bit, but for you, Darcy, what does she mean to you? She seems to make your life that much more easy, and she's so adorable while she does it.
Yeah, she is. I mean, for me, like I say, she's she's a great companion. She's there when I need her, like I say, for picking up things, opening doors. She uses the little handicap service door to open doors for me. She helps me find my husband. We've trained her that if he wanders off in a store somewhere, I just say, go find Dad, and she'll take me to Dad, and vice versa. And she has also been trained that if for some reason he has her in a store and he starts having some problems, his sugar starts dropping or whatever, that he just releases her and she comes to me. So I know if she shows up without him, he's got a problem, and then I say, go find Dad, and she'll take me back to him.
Wow.
That's amazing.
You are also a life-saving dog, Darcy. Do you know that? Yeah. Look at her.
Hasn't moved her eye once.
No. So attentive.
Yeah.
And that's part of our initial training. It's called what we call focus work, to get the dog and the handler to focus on each other, because it's a team. It's a team in order for this to be successful. So we want the dog to always be looking at the person. What can I do for you next?
And that's one of the things with people who want to pet service dogs.
Right.
Is it takes that attention off of the person, that it takes the off of their team member. All dogs like to, not most dogs like to be petted, so then that takes the attention off of where their attention needs to be.
Right, and that's why we always advise people not to pet them.
Right.
Because they're always working.
Always ask.
They're always working.
Always ask first.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Darcy, it was a pleasure.
You're incredible.
And she's like, no, I'm just going to take a little nap.
She's earned it.
And Handi-Dogs can be contacted at 326-3412 or online at handi-dogs.org. Again, that number is 326-3412 or handi-dogs.org.
Still ahead on The Morning Blend, we'll meet some heroes that are helping others online.
Class will help get the body you want by putting you in the right state of mind. Right after this.